Okay, so basically, in over the past couple of months, I was talking to this woman that I stopped speaking to because she turned out to be really stupid. But one of the things she said to me while we were talking about these different countries and international issues was that sanctions are not well. Because I sent her the article, and Ruben knows about this, not this story, but he knows about this article. Back in, I believe it was June of 2017, the Senate voted for a bill that put sanctions on Iran, Russia, and I think North Korea as well. Don't quote me on that last one, but I know it was Iran and Russia. And the only two senators didn't vote for it were Sanders and Rand Paul. And so I sent this article to her, not then because I didn't know her, but I sent it to her. And she was trying to like defend it or make it seem like it was an okay thing they did. And I was like, this is provoking a conflict. She's like, oh, it's not war, it's sanctions. So I've got a clip of Gravel because I promised to play this. And like I said, I every time he talks, I just want to like have 80 cameras around. So this is from his interview with Graham Elwood. And I'm going to see if I can pinpoint. I listed the number here. But again, this is him talking about sanctions, kind of like explaining what my point is in a more articulate manner.
Now, let me talk a minute about sanctions. Sanctions are another way of going to war. But who do you go to war against? Who do you think we're punishing in Venezuela with our sanctions? Do you think Maduro's missing a meal tonight?
Yeah. We're punishing the citizens.
Exactly. And the poorest of the citizens, because they're the ones that are hurt the most. And so whether it's sanctions against Russia, sanctions against China, and we can do all these sanctions because the dollar is the reserve currency of the world. But that's changing. That is going to change. And within a decade, we're not going to have the reserve currency. And then maybe other people will sanction us when they don't like what we're doing. So sanctions are in my view, a criminal act of war that doesn't look like war, but it's war against the citizens of that country, not the leadership. And the theory that, well, we got to make the people hurt so they'll overthrow their leaders. Well, cite me a case in history where that's happened, and then I'll believe your theory.
Yes.
But right now, the theory is bogus, and the United States is the worst warmonger in the world against not only just going to war, actually, but in the subtle form of war against the populations, the people populations of the world.
So he described sanctions as being a war against the people of a country that's targeted by the U.S. That is exactly how I view sanctions. And like, guys, I wish you could have heard the stupidity that just like oozed out of her lips when she was trying to make it seem as if they just placed these on a country just as like a precautionary thing to be fun. Because let's remember, when you have a war, it's not the president or the supreme leader or the whatever head of state might, whatever their title is in whatever particular country. It's not them that get in the tank or put on a vest and get deployed over to whatever the battleground is. It's the people. So I don't really see a difference in terms of the effect between people shooting each other up on some foreign land and being starved to death or screwed over by sanctions on their own land. It's the same effect. It's you getting pissed by the actions of the heads of state and taking it out on the people. But that point like completely flew over her head.